Hi everybody, this is Infinitely ASMR, and today I'm doing a tag video. I've been tagged by a wonderful person, Prim ASMR, in a tag that I think was originally started by Gibi, and I thought I'd get on and do a quick lo-fi video and participate in the tag. I love these kinds of community things, so I'm happy to take part. I hope you guys are doing really well. It's been some time since I posted a video. Thank you everyone who wrote comments and said hello and has been on Instagram. I really appreciate you all and I love you very much. So let's get on with the questions. Also today is the first day of Hanukkah, so I've got my Hanukkah lamp and my little Christmas tree. Multicultural household over here, so if you're celebrating either of those holidays, then happy holidays to you. Chag Sameach. Okay, so I have my questions for the tag behind you, so if I'm looking up there, that's why. I haven't prepared very much for this. I just wanted to answer from my heart and see what comes up. The only thing I did do is I looked at my history for some of the questions that require going back to which videos I watched. And I have a little tea here. It's the yogi tea, kombucha, lemongrass, peppermint, plum, and passion fruit. It smells so good. I hope it's not too hot. It's really good. Okay, so let's get on with it. The first question is, when was the first time you experienced ASMR? So, it was probably when I was a kid. I remember being quite young, I would say maybe 7 or 8, and I went over with my mom to her friend's house, and her friend had a daughter, and she had a little den with all of her craft supplies and toys and everything like that. And she was doing some kind of, it wasn't really origami, but it was like some kind of a craft thing. And I remember very clearly that she was folding paper very neatly, and she has really small hands because she was a kid, just kind of folding the paper and pressing down onto it to make the crease really pronounced. And I remember just feeling so good and so relaxed, and I just froze, and I wanted to just sit there and watch her do it. She was like, "Come help me," and I was like, "No, it's okay, you do it, you know." And I didn't really understand it, and I was really confused by it, and I wasn't sure if it was like an inappropriate thing or what it was, because I just wanted to be near her all the time, and didn't know that ASMR existed. So yeah, that was my first time that I can remember, but I'm pretty sure I must have had other experiences before. When was the first time you watched ASMR on YouTube? So I discovered ASMR through a friend who told me about a podcast he had heard that talked about ASMR. And he said to me, "You know how you constantly watch the Shopping Channel and Bob Ross and stuff? I found your people." So I went on YouTube right away and I looked it up. And the first video I can remember watching was by Whispers Unicorn, and it was one of her first spa role plays. It's the one where she sat kind of lower on the ground, and it just blew my mind. I was so happy and comforted, and I immediately fell asleep and took a nap, and it was amazing. And this must have been 2013, I guess, so about 5 years ago. Name the last 5 ASMRtists that you watched. So this is the question that I've done research for, and I have it here in my little notebook. So I have Yvette ASMR. She's amazing. You guys know I love her. And the last video I watched by her was a face measuring one where she measures your face for a custom mask. It's really nice and it knocks me out every time. The next one, well, I guess the one before that, was the Kitty Doctor video by Tony Bomboni. I love him. He's actually one of the only male ASMRtists that I watch, but I would like to watch more. There's one that I watched for a while, but he's so handsome that it actually distracts me from relaxing. I don't know if this happens to you guys. And Tony, you're extremely handsome too, but I have a feeling we're not each other's type, so I see you more as an ASMR dad, but not old enough to be a dad, do you know what I mean? Think of us as like fictional characters. This is going in a really weird direction. Anyway, so Tony's video. The one beforehand was by someone I recently discovered and I love. Her channel name is Luana Lulu ASMR, and I watched her scalp and head massage video, and it knocks me out within minutes every time. But I think one of the last times I watched it, I managed to actually comment, which I like doing because I like reading comments. So the video beforehand was someone that always puts me to sleep whenever I need to. I know I can rely on her channel, and it's Soft ASMR. And it was her What's in My Bag video, but I'll literally watch any one of her videos. She could like read a shopping list and I'd be like, yeah, sounds good, thank you. And then the one before was by Ghostly ASMR, and it was 10 triggers to fall asleep. Ghostly ASMR has one of the best sound quality for me out of the community. I just love, like, it's so immersive and so well done, and the videos are very intricate, and I'm not normally someone who likes trigger-based videos. I'm more into role plays and things like that, but with Ghostly ASMR, I love it. Okay, so the next question is, what is your favorite ASMR trigger to listen to? Aside from personal attention and role plays, I would say it has to be Crinkles. It's not the most popular one. You don't get a lot of Crinkles. Although this time of the year with people opening gifts and packing and wrapping gifts, get a few more. But, yeah. Actually, one of the recent videos that I watched that I really loved for the Crinkle factor was, I think, Gibi and oh my goodness, Fast ASMR. They did like a candy exchange, and there are so many good Crinkles in that one, so recommend it. The next question is, what is your favorite trigger to listen to? What did I miss? Oh, I have to do it. Oh, sorry. What is your, oh my goodness, what is your least favorite trigger to listen to? And I need to do it. I don't want to. I'm not gonna do it because it really annoys me. And a lot of you love it, and no problem, you guys know these things are really personal. So the thing that I like listening to the most is tongue clicking. And I know it's a really popular trigger for a lot of people, but I don't really do any triggers that I don't like on the channel because I kind of create things that I think work for me. So yeah. Next question is, do you use ASMR to relax or fall asleep? Yes, I use ASMR for both. Mostly to fall asleep as of recent because I haven't had a lot of time to listen to it at work, which I used to do when I'm doing some kind of autonomous work on my own at my computer. But I have some friends who do that at work, and they send me the videos that they like. Mostly lately it's been to relax before bed and then fall asleep as well. I like to kind of have a night, an evening with my husband, and then whenever we're ready to go to sleep, and he's more relaxed, or sometimes I'll even give him a head massage while I listen to ASMR, and then he usually falls asleep before me, and I'll kind of stay up a little bit and drift off and watch ASMR videos. What is your bedtime routine? Well, this nicely segues to that. I have to admit, I'm not much of a routine kind of person. I should probably get better at it. My bedtime routine pretty much consists of spending time with my husband, like I said. We both work long hours, so it's nice to have a little bit of time. If we don't feel like chatting, we'll normally sit on the sofa and watch something, or just relax and kind of be close to each other. And then I always take my makeup off and wash my face and put on my skincare. It's kind of a nice way to signal to my body that, it's time. I take my anti-anxiety and antidepressant medication. Very important. And that's it. And then normally I'll try and go to bed. And then, why do I always have to sneeze when I'm making a video? I decided this would be uncut, so you guys get to see it all. What was I saying? Right, so I try to go to bed, and then if after some time I'm struggling to fall asleep, what I'll do is I'll actually get up and get out of bed, because I don't want to associate bed with something like restless or unpleasant. And then I'll go to the living room and watch some TV. Last night I watched Gilmore Girls. I'll watch some ASMR until I'm ready to go to sleep. Sometimes I'll eat some cheese or a snack. So, a weird routine, if you will. Next question is, right, I think I've kind of gone in a weird order with the questions, but it's cool. So, what's your favorite trigger? How long does it take you to make a video? So, a video like this, where I'm literally just talking, and I'm probably going to upload it as is with maybe trimming the beginning and the end, it takes as long as it takes to film if I'm using no equipment. So basically just a regular, just my phone or mic. That's very unusual for me. I normally like to use a separate camera and a separate microphone, and then I need to merge the sound together. Before I merge the sound, I like to edit the sound in something like Audacity. One of you left me a comment on one of the videos a few days ago saying I should do that. I need to look into which video that was, because it is something I do. Then I'll get it into Final Cut, and I'll edit any kind of parts that maybe didn't work, or if something happened outside, or if I sneeze or anything like that. I do some color grading. Then if it's green screen, it takes a bit longer. And then the part that I don't like doing but is necessary is making a thumbnail, and then writing all the tags and description and stuff. And then for most of my videos that are like role plays or videos that I want to really feature on the channel, I also make a night version. So that means going back to Final Cut, applying the night effect, re-exporting it, making an additional version of the thumbnail, and then uploading them. So let's say if a video is half an hour long, then we're talking about anything between like 2 to 5 hours roughly to make, and especially the ones that require a bit more time to set up, or if I want to get ready in a different way and then clean up and stuff like that, it can take more time. I don't have a space where I film like a studio or another room, so then it means I have to put up, let's say, the green screen and take it down. So it's a pretty time consuming thing, but I know some people put a lot more effort, like they'll write a script and stuff like that, and I aspire to be those people when I grow up. Next question. Have you ever gotten tingles from your own videos? No. When I watch my own videos, I do it with a critical eye to see what I would improve. I like to do it sometime after I've released them to kind of go back and see. Or if I'm making a continuation, I want to see the tone of voice I used and how it looked and everything. So I noticed too many things in it that I would change to be able to really enjoy it in a relaxing way. Do you watch your own videos? Is the next question. I do watch them, especially the older ones. I like to keep a more consistent, I try to keep a consistent vibe in the videos if I can. So I do watch them back and with an eye to kind of critique them, so I see what worked and what didn't work. I also rewatch the ones that become really popular because I never really know how the video will do in terms of views and engagement, and so I watch them back to see, why they might have, what is it about them that I can kind of put my finger on that I might want to repeat in other videos too. Oh, one thing to say too is when you guys comment, and if it's a particular part, I'll go and rewatch that part to see what you guys mean as well, so I see them in that way. Next question is, what software do you use to edit? So I think I've just listed a few of them, but Final Cut Pro, I used to use iMovie, and I use Audacity for sound, and I use Photoshop to make my thumbnails. But I just got an iPad Pro, and I've been practicing some lettering, so if I get any better at it, I might try and do my thumbnails that way. So let's see. What time of the day do you film? Really varies. So right now it's 10 to 4 p.m. and I like to film with daylight if I can. It's getting dark now, so here in London it's December, so around 3:30 to 4:30 it'll get dark. So I use a lamp, but I prefer to use daylight if I can. Sometimes I'll film later in the day, like 9, later after work. But I don't like filming in the middle of the night because I work full time, and if I don't get enough sleep, I get really cranky and tired. So, yeah. I respect people who do that very much, and I always think, should I do that? Should I be trying to optimize the silence and everything? But I find that the more constraints that I put on the way I film, the less I film. Yeah. What's the next question? What is your favorite video that you've ever made? Wow, good question. Probably, so I can answer that question in different ways. If it's a video that I personally enjoy more, it would be it's like a scalp check and head massager, head shampoo thing. It's like a hair clinic one. And the reason for that is I really like the sounds. I like the scenario of the whole thing because it's inspired by one of my favorite videos ever. If it is for, like production value or artistic value, I really like the personal assistant series. I've had a lot of fun thinking about the story and the character and where they might go. And recently, whenever I've had time to relax, like if I'm getting a massage, I'll be imagining how those characters might do in the future and what's going to happen to them and stuff like that. So I enjoy that part. I think it's surprisingly been the most similar experience to writing fiction, which is something I enjoyed doing a lot when I was younger. But you guys tell me in the comments, what's your favorite video I've ever made. I'm really curious. I think obviously the statistics tell you one side of the picture, so the mass appeal of it, or maybe which videos ended up doing better in the algorithm or whatever, but I know from experience some of my favorite videos out in the ASMR universe aren't the ones with the most views or from the channels with the most subscribers, so I'd be curious to know what's your favorite video that I've ever made and why. Okay, what's the next question? Have one of your videos had an unexpected negative fan reaction? Yes. I think the one that always comes to mind is again the one with the scalp exam and shampoo, the hair clinic one. The reason for that is very funny to me. So, as you know, English is my third language, and I don't know why, but in that video and at that time, I wasn't really sure about the pronunciation of scalp, which is hilarious because if you watch ASMR, it's one of the most common words, but you know, it's always in the title for videos, but people don't really say it as much. Anyway, I kind of pronounced it as scalp, similar to that, and a lot of people commented saying, that's not how you say that word. So I mean, it's not the worst negative reaction ever, but it's just something I wasn't expecting. I think the Pokemon Go nurse roleplay, a few people kind of said, well, you're just trying to jump on the bandwagon of Pokemon Go because it's popular and try to get your video promoted and stuff. Which, I mean, I've thought about it, but the reason I came up with the whole idea was because I was playing Pokemon Go a lot at that time, and we were going out with this Pokemon Go London WhatsApp group, and you just go all over the city and you try and catch Pokemon together. And I saw some people climb into some really weird places, so that's where the idea came from. And the storyline of that video is you fall into a bush while playing Pokemon Go, and then you come to the nurse and she helps you out. So it was a realistic moment of my life at that time. But of course, you know, you think about what's popular at the time when you're putting videos out on YouTube because you want them to be seen by a lot of people. So fair enough. Next question. What video of yours do you think didn't get the love it deserved? It's hard to comment on this because for a long time I only showed the bottom half of my face in videos, and I think it's hard to compare the videos from that era of my channel to videos since I've begun showing my face. But one of the videos I like the most in terms of like the sounds and stuff like that is a really old video that I made where you come to a makeup store, and I was using products I just bought from Elf for me, and I was unpacking them and kind of selling them to you. And to me, even though it's my video, and like I said, I would never go to my own video to try and relax. When I watch it back, it is one of the most relaxing ones for me. So I think that one is one of the ones I thought people would enjoy more, or at least would get more attention. But like I said, I never really know how the video will do when I film it and when I put it out, and hardly ever have I thought, yeah, this one's gonna be good, and it really got a lot of attention. It's always surprising, so fair enough. It's a hard question. Next question is there something the audience doesn't know about the behind the scenes of your channel? I'm sure there's a lot because I don't really, I mean, it's behind the scenes, so you don't get to see a lot of it. I think, I'm trying to think of something good and surprising, you know. I really need to think about this. Oh, do you know what? While I think about that, I just remembered a video that got an unexpected negative reaction, and it was a couple of the videos that I filmed in this apartment at a specific place, which is like our dining area. And there was a medical one, and mostly the medical one, and it got pretty popular. And whenever a video goes bigger than, like, significantly larger in terms of its viewership base than your subscriber count, it means that a lot of people are watching it who haven't seen you before. And so what tends to happen is you get a different type of vibe in the comment section, because you're not hearing from, fans of the channel or people who've been with you and they know your background. It's more detached and more impersonal and a lot more objective, I guess, in some kind of way. So I had a massive backlash from a bunch of people who really hated the fact that you could see my kitchen in the back, and they were saying how it's really unrealistic and it detracts from, the video and the medical vibe, and they can't get into the video because you can see my kitchen, and I think you could even see like the dishes and everything. And that was really funny to watch. Some people got really upset about it. So yeah. What don't people know? Well, the one thing is that I live in a really small apartment, and there really isn't any space to film. So, for example, my green screen videos, I'll take it's not even a green screen, it's like a green cloth that I bought at the local tailor, like a fabric shop. And I just went up to this guy who was like 70, and I just said, can you cut me, this much fabric? And I just wanted to try it out. And I used a little ladder to hold up one edge, and then I stuck the other edge of the fabric. I jammed it in the closet door, and it's in my bedroom. And I just filmed in this little tiny corner, and I had a high stool for the mic and the laptop, because I need to have a laptop connected to my mic, which is a USB mic, and then I need a tripod for my camera, and all the cables and everything, and a light. And that's how I filmed it. It was the most unglamorous thing. You can actually go on my Instagram, which is at infinitely ASMR, and you can see I do have behind the scenes highlights reel, and you can see how that whole thing was set up. And I think it looks, luckily, a lot more professional than how it was made. So, and I think this is what excites me the most about the ASMR community, is people really aren't coming from a background of, filming or production. We are figuring it out as we go along. And that whole vibe of being scrappy and creative and learning about the equipment and learning about the production, to me, is really exciting, because I think you come up into it from a really personal place, and so the content you create is inspired by what you know at the time, and vice versa. Okay, next question. I think there's 6 more. What's the most absurd request you received from a fan? So I knew this question was coming up, and I really thought about whether or not to talk about this, because on one hand, it's hilarious, and on the other hand, I don't think I want to give some people a platform. But there's a guy, and as I say this, I just realized how hilarious this is because of what I'm about to say. There's a guy out there that shall not be named, and he comments on all the new ASMR channels. I think the way he does it is he probably goes and searches for like recently uploaded videos, and then goes and makes the exact same request. And if you're an ASMR creator, I'm 90% sure you would have had a comment from this guy at the beginning of your journey. His request is always the same. He wants you to have black nail polish, which is what's really funny. And he wants you to tap your nails on something shiny with your hand facing the camera and something like that. Like, it's a really specific request. And I remember when I first started, you don't know what's normal because, face it, ASMR can be very unique, right? Like, we all have our own interests and triggers, and you can be as judgmental or as normative in your thinking about ASMR triggers as you would be about other types of content. So as a new creator, I think you spend time thinking, is this a legit request? Is this someone being creepy? And I figured out really quickly that it was just him being creepy because he was asking on multiple videos and also on a lot of channels. My stomach needs to calm down. Let me take a sip. I hope the mic doesn't pick up on that. My 3DO would. That's a lie, I don't have a 3DO. My Blue Yeti would. But hopefully this one wouldn't. Anyway, if you're watching this, good luck to you. I think some people have made that video, and I'm always like, well, fair enough, at least it's not sexual in nature, but to me, I think it's a bit of a fetish going on there. Anyway, next question. Do your family and friends know you make ASMR videos? Yes, they do. And this has been a journey. In the beginning, I didn't tell anyone other than, my best friend and my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband. But I then proceeded to tell a colleague who I knew was an ASMR fan because we bonded over that, and he was super supportive. And then over time, I've been talking about it more and more, and I think it's been because of two things. So other than just me being more comfortable with it over the years, I think, first of all, mental health awareness has become so much bigger and more prominent in society. And so I think one of the pivotal points on my channel was beginning to work with BetterHelp, because I felt like here's an app or a product that I use that really helps me with my mental health, and they're a known company and they've approached me to work with them, so it made me feel like a certain legitimacy to say that I was making content that would help to add to that conversation, that discourse. And I was also getting a lot of amazing comments and DMs on Instagram too, and emails, and still do, from people who struggle with anxiety and postpartum depression and miscarriages and grief, PTSD, autism, all sorts of experiences and presenting issues, we say, things that affect them in life and affect their sleep and well-being. And they were saying to me that my content was helping them, and I think that's true for all of ASMR, and I was really proud to be part of that. The other thing that's helped is ASMR is so much more exposed and well-known in popular culture than it was certainly when I began watching it, and for sure since I started my channel, which has been about 2.5 years now. So it helps because people no longer say, oh, what is that? They say, oh yeah, I heard of this, that the whispering thing, so it helps. Have you ever been recognized in public? I have not. No. I don't think my channel is big enough for that. But I do know that I have a few viewers and subscribers who live in London and just outside of London, and I keep in touch with some of them. And I always think about how would it be to run into one of them. I will say that even though I haven't been recognized in public as Infinitely ASMR, I've had multiple cases of people commenting on the fact that they found my voice soothing. For example, I was in a supermarket and I asked the staff member in the aisle where to find something, and he told me, and then he was like, have you ever been told you have a really relaxing voice? And I was like, no, not at all. So I guess there's something there. 3 more questions. So, the next question is, what inspires your video ideas? You guys inspire my video ideas a lot. I have a notebook of requests that I go back to if I'm stuck on something. The other thing that inspires my video ideas are experiences that I have in real life, such as glasses fitting, although I won't need that anymore because I had laser eye surgery. I had a lot of optometrist exams leading up to that and also in the past, so that's where some of those videos came from. And I actually expose myself to these experiences on purpose. I think if you experience ASMR, you'll end up kind of seeking out going to the hairdresser and going to get a massage and things like that if you find those things pleasant. And so those experiences inspire me a lot. And then the other thing is any concepts or scenes in movies or shows that I watch that I find ASMR inducing. The personal assistant actually came from a documentary about Britney Spears from like 2001. I'm trying to think what it was called. It was following her in one of her tours, and it ended in Mexico. And her personal assistant Felicia is in it, and there is a scene where she wakes her up in the morning and goes through her schedule with her, and that inspired the beginning of that series. So yeah, those things too. 2 more. Where do you find yourself spending the most time online? Definitely on YouTube and Instagram. So this week I actually watched a video called 1 Month Without Internet. It's this couple who do 1 month challenges. They did one where they did 1 month without sugar, and this is the second one, and ended up deleting Instagram and Twitter and Pinterest because these are the top 3. Aside from YouTube. As a tangent, when you speak in this voice, you get a lot of burps. If you don't know this. Anyway, so I found out through so the iPhone now has screen time where you can see where you spend your time, and aside from YouTube and, like messages and email, those 3 are the biggest culprits. And I've been trying to spend more time reading and doing things outside of the internet. So I've deleted them, but let's see how it goes. I've already been missing my ASMR Instagram crew. We have a lot of fun and keep in touch there, so I'm going to need to get back into that one and maybe stay logged out of my personal one. I don't know. But yeah, YouTube's definitely the number 1, and then those 3. So Pinterest I'll go to for recipes and just scroll around and see pretty things. And then Twitter for work. And I don't have an ASMR presence on Twitter. And then, what else did I say? Instagram. Cool. And the last question. What advice would you give someone who wanted to make their own ASMR content? I think the first advice would be, do it. Go for it. Be aware that you can't really take it back. So, I do think about the online presence that I have and what it means. I want to be proud of what I create, and I want to have a voice and a platform that I can look back on and say, I still support what I stood for back then. Creating ASMR videos, you may not think about it as being the most politically vocal or maybe societally meaningful type of content, but actually you can weave those things into your channel. So I try to create things with a mental health angle to them, and I try to be really inclusive. I try to get themes about consent into my videos. So I think without trying to be too straightforward about it, you can still get what you're passionate about into your videos. So for that, I would say it's a big motivator to definitely get started. I would say if you want to make ASMR content, I hope you're into ASMR as ASMR and you're not just doing it because it's a fad or something that's getting really popular. I think the thing that attracted me the most to this community in the beginning is that people were really excited, like I was, when they found the community, and they thought, wow, I'm not weird. This is a thing that other people experience, and being able to find your tribe and make those connections has been incredibly transformative for me. So I hope that our community continues to attract people for the right reasons now that it's becoming a lot more popular and a lot more talked about. And the other advice I would give, and I think I've said this in previous videos, is don't worry about your equipment. Like, I'm filming this on my iPhone with a regular set of headphones and a headphone mic, and you don't have to have the nicest, most expensive equipment or software to get started. For me, the videos that I find the best and most soothing are the ones that have the right soul and attitude to them. So the ones that you can tell a person means it. And I'd rather watch a video, like a role play made in a bathroom. That sounds weird. In a bedroom with an iPhone, where you can really feel the personal attention vibe and the meaning behind it, than like a super decked out, beautifully filmed studio version where it's impersonal in that way. So hopefully you get best of both worlds later on. So get started. Don't worry about it. I wish I hadn't waited as long as I did to start my channel. I was really nervous, and people are really nice in the beginning, and I think I'm lucky to still have a small channel because I get to connect with my viewers on a personal level. People still address me in the comments with the word you. So people say, you've done this, or I like this you've done, or you've said. Whereas when a video gets bigger, you start getting her and she, and that's how you know you're kind of more far removed from the viewers. So do it, enjoy it, and there will be someone out there who connects with your content and connects with the way you are and what you say and the way you express yourself and the triggers you like. So it's an amazing feeling to make that connection. Right, this is me. That's all the questions that I've been asked. So I'm going to end this with tagging 5 more people. So I tag Yvette ASMR, I tag Luana Lulu, I tag Scottish ASMR Blueberry, Ashley Marie ASMR, and Crinkle Luvin ASMR. And to everyone that is an ASMRtist that I haven't mentioned, and I love you and I miss you, I'm sending you huge hugs. There's so many people that I haven't talked about, but hopefully I can weave you into other videos in the future. And here's a massive hug from me and a kiss to all of you, viewers and ASMR creators alike. And I'm going to try and film a little bit more. I don't want to make any promises because don't want to disappoint you guys, but yeah, I want to make more videos, so I'm going to work on it. I hope you have an amazing Hanukkah and Christmas if I don't make a video before, and please continue writing and watching and commenting and liking and all of that good stuff, because it means that more people see the videos in the channel, so I really appreciate that. Have an infinitely relaxing morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are. I love you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.